Einstein described himself. In 10 years, Einstein went from high school dropout to formulator of the theory of relativity. How? Why? What can we learn from his career about our most precious resource, the human mind? I believe that one of the strongest motives that lead men to art and science is flight from everyday life with its painful harshness and wretched dreariness. One who is more finely tempered is driven to escape from personal existence to the world of objective observing and understanding. This motive can be compared with the longing that irresistibly pulls the city dweller away from his noisy, cramped quarters towards the silent, high mountains. Man tries to make for himself in the fashion that suits his taste a simplified and intelligible picture of the world. He then tries, to some extent, to substitute this cosmos of his for the world of experience, and thus to transcend it. This is what the painter, the poet, the philosopher, and the natural scientist do, each in his own way. Albert Einstein's discoveries in physics range from the molecular to the universal. His formative years, the years of his unequaled creativity, were spent here in Switzerland. In his education and his character may be revealed answers to the riddle of all genius. Einstein submitted only 14 lines in response to a biographical request from P.G.T.H.C. That modest summary conceals one of the greatest adventures in human thought. He was born in Ulm, Germany, on March 14, 1879. Spent his childhood in Ulm and Munich. Went to college in Zurich. After graduation, he became a patent examiner in Berlin. Astonished the world with a series of discoveries that transformed physics. Honored by the Sorbonne and by the He returned to his native Germany only to be driven out by the Nazis with other intellectuals like Thomas Mann. He settled in Princeton, New Jersey, and became a life member of the Institute for Advanced Study. His findings in relativity led other scientists to manufacture the first atomic bomb. But Einstein had no part in the making of the bomb and urged nations to renounce it as a weapon of war. Einstein spent his last years at the Institute seeking to develop a unified field theory that would integrate all natural phenomena. He was 76 when he died on April 18, 1955. He asked that there be no ceremony, no shrine. Einstein's achievements have been enshrined in memory of mankind. To trace the nurturing of his genius, one must go back to 1895. In the late summer of that year, a troubled but determined young man of 16 arrived in Zurich. Albert Einstein had fled without a diploma from the rote learning of an authoritarian secondary school in Munich. Einstein came to Zurich. As Einstein explained it,
it followed from the special theory of relativity that mass and energy are but different manifestations of the same thing, a somewhat unfamiliar conception for the average mind. Furthermore, the equation E is equal mc squared, in which energy is equal to mass multiplied with the square of the velocity of light, showed that very small amount of mass may be converted into a very large amount of energy, and vice versa. The mass and energy were in fact equivalent, according to the formula mentioned above. This was demonstrated by Krier and Walton in 1932 experimentally.
Einstein's hypotheses were to be confirmed by the unlocking of the atom, the development of nuclear energy, and the making of an atomic bomb. Einstein's energy encompassed even more than the theory of relativity.
Einstein was happy in Switzerland. There, man is left to himself and his privacy is respected. That privacy was lost irrevocably after the First World War. The name Einstein became a household word, a symbol of man's yearning to salvation through science. His overriding concern was that man learned to control the forces of science and unleash it.
To give any estimate of when atomic energy can be applied to constructive purposes is impossible. What now is known is only how to use a fairly large quantity of uranium. The use of quantities sufficiently small to operate the same in a car or an airplane is as yet impossible. Presumably, all materials which may be used for such purposes will be among the heavier elements of high atomic weight. Those elements are relatively scarce because of their lesser stability. So, though the release of atomic energy can be, and no doubt will be, a great boon to mankind, that may not be for some time.
Despite his renown, the great science of our century remained simple and unassuming in his person. The secret of Einstein's genius may well lie in his simplicity, his childlike curiosity, his complete concentration, his playful visual imagination, and his openness to the symmetry of nature. But there is something else. The human intellect is a delicate flower, said Albert Einstein. His career reveals how we must nurture the mind to help liberate man from dogma and deception. I am one small piece of nature.
Infinite Pond. Vietnam War Memorial. Monument to Albert Einstein. National Academy of Sciences, Philip Handler.
I am one small piece of nature.
So Albert Einstein described himself. In 10 years, Einstein went from high school dropout to formulator of the theory of relativity. How? Why? What can we learn from his career about our most precious resource, the human mind?
The idea of achieving security through national armament is, at the present state of military technique, a disastrous illusion. The hydrogen bomb appears on the public horizon as a probably attainable goal. Its accelerated development has been solemnly proclaimed by the President. If successful, radioactive poisoning of the atmosphere and hence annihilation of any life on Earth has been brought within the range of technical possibilities.
That was an exclusive statement which Professor Einstein made for the NBC cameras 5 years ago, in which he warned that the products of his genius, atomic bombs, were a menace to mankind. The professor often left the scientific world to speak on moral and political issues, especially those posed by atomic energy.
Is there any way out of this impasse created by man himself? All of us, and particularly those who are responsible for the attitude of the US and the USSR, should realize that we may have vanquished an external enemy, but have been incapable of getting rid of the mentality created by war. It is impossible to achieve peace as long as every single action is taken with a possible future conflict in view.
This is the formula which summarized Einstein's theory of relativity, a theory which gained him a Nobel Prize. Einstein took mass, or the atomic weight of a substance, and the speed of light, which is constant, and expressed their relation to energy in a simple equation: E equals mc squared.
Another formula proposed by Dr. Einstein with a twinkle in his eye involves success in life. The rule, he would say, might be expressed as follows: success equals x plus y plus z. X being work, y being play, and z keeping your mouth shut.
You have a grandstand seat here to one of the most momentous events in the history of science. In less than a minute, you will see the most powerful explosion ever witnessed by human eyes. The blast will come out of the horizon just about there. And this is the significance of the moment. This is the first full-scale test of a hydrogen device. If the reaction goes, we're in the thermonuclear era. For the sake of all of us, and for the sake of our country, I know that you join me in wishing this expedition well.
It is now 30 seconds to zero time. Put on goggles or turn away. Do not remove goggles or face burst until 10 seconds after the first light.
Minus 15 seconds. Minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, T0.
Work on high-yield hydrogen bombs had progressed from Operation Ivy, culminating in the spring of 1954 with Castle Bravo, the largest device ever detonated in atmospheric testing by the United States. Bravo was a hydrogen bomb using solid thermonuclear fuel, confirming the designs of Edward Teller and Stan Ulam, and paving the way to producing aircraft-deliverable hydrogen bombs and more effective weapons. significantly exceeding its expected yield by 2.5 times. Castle Bravo, with an explosive power of 15 megatons, stripped islands clean of vegetation and took the scientists by surprise. The huge explosion released large quantities of radioactive debris into the atmosphere. This resulted in the exposure and contamination of some servicemen, natives, and the crew of a Japanese fishing boat, which had gone unnoticed in the security zone around the blast. This incident pushed the dangers of fallout from nuclear weapons clearly into the public mind.
Seen here is basal structure law 1. A. Pure gravitational unified field structure, which is Einstein's gravitational field treatment for the structure of the universe as a whole, as applied to an infinite hierarchy of galaxies. This law is a solution of Einstein's field equations of gravitation in a static, symmetric, pre-established infinite hierarchical state. This structure law 1 is, quote, infinitely certain, end quote, according to Andrea Clune of Georgetown, Washington, D.C. in the Wisconsin House at 2712 Massachusetts Avenue. Promotion. Spirit and enthusiasm could be empirical proof that God exists and can't live in the terra firma of the human soul or amid the voidal nucleus of the brain of all living creatures. From the biography Subtle is the Lord by Abraham Hayes, page 464. The universe as a whole in 1923. Does field theory offer possibilities for the solution of the quantum problem? In 1923 Einstein was 44 years old and continued to live in a finite island universe which was not a physical reality. In 6th grade Timothy Krier recognized many other surrounding galaxies and examined the resultant gravitational field which permeated throughout his experience. Classroom, schoolyard, entire earth shared by all men. In 8th grade he delivered his 10 Commandments retort to school principal Helen F. Stoner by 44 years old. For Einstein, the reality of galaxies not recognized by Einstein would forever doom Einstein to failure. By 11 years old for Timothy Krier, the reality of galaxies recognized by Timothy Krier would complement Krier's attempts to unify matter and fields since 4 years old and make it easy to far exceed Einstein. For any doubts about that, contact Gross at P.G.T.H.C. and Hartle at physics.uxb.edu.
Would Albert Einstein plead for a vision that exhibits 1. Childlike curiosity and 2. Exhibits the symmetry in nature, and 3. Is the culmination of a child's visual thinking, whose audiometric analog is, unequivocally, the prelude to also Sprach Zarathustra, and is in fact the uncontestable physical theory of e pluribus unum. Would Albert Einstein express himself with great passion on the question of the making of a motion picture for children worldwide?
So I hope I've given you some flavor for the kinds of questions which we ask. But I want to convey something to you, that it's an extraordinarily remarkable fact. It's not a fact about me, it's a fact about the way human beings think, the way human beings, their cognitive abilities, that when you think about it for a moment, you know, a small, relatively small band of hairless apes has been able to deduce all of this, has been able to deduce such strange and totally unintuitive, very, very foreign ideas, very, very abstract ideas about the universe as peculiar and as unintuitive as the world is a hologram. I thank you.